Good afternoon. As I said in the party room this morning, this is a term of government when we deliver on our policies, on our programs, on the great investments that we've set in train. This is a term of government where we ensure that Australians see their government serving them. This has been an election in which politicians have contended, but the election is about all of the Australian people. And what I'm announcing today is the team, the ministry that I will be recommending to His Excellency the Governor-General tomorrow. I indicated consistently before and during the election campaign that the ministry I took to the election would be the ministry that I led after the election. The team that I'm announcing today will deliver on the economic plan and the budget strategy we put to the Australian people. As the re-elected coalition government, we have a clear mandate to proceed with our policies. We are committed to 3 years of strong, stable economic leadership so we can provide both the economic security and the national security that Australians expect and deserve. This includes our legislative priorities for the 45th Parliament, the ABCC, Australian Building and Construction Commission and Registered Organisations legislation, the amendment of the Fair Work Act to protect the independence of the Country Fire Authority volunteers, and our budget legislation. Budget repair will be a front-of-mind issue for this entire Parliament. This has been reinforced by the 3 ratings agencies following the campaign. Only the Coalition has a credible fiscal strategy. Labor promises, as we saw during the campaign, higher spending, higher taxes, higher debt and deficits. We'll be implementing our mental health policy and our healthcare home policy as an important reaffirmation of our commitment to a first-class health system, first-class universal health system. I've met and spoken with the new President of the AMA, and I'm confident that we will have a better working relationship with the AMA and its general practitioner membership. And we'll be rolling out our historic defence industry investment, building new jobs and opportunities in the advanced manufacturing sector right across the national supply chain for businesses big and small. This will be transformative for our economy. When it comes to the ministry, there will be, as you know, greater representation for the National Party because the Nationals hold a greater share of the coalition party room after the election. I think it was at this very podium, in this very spot, that John Howard said some years ago, politics is governed by the iron laws of arithmetic, and so it is true. 2 members of our ministry have not been returned, 2 members of the House of Representatives, Wyatt Roy and Peter Hendy. I want to thank them for their service and their contribution to the government as assistant ministers. Counting is still underway in the Senate, as you know. Unfortunately, Senator Richard Colbeck, Minister in the government, is not assured of retaining his Senate seat. I've therefore decided not to reappoint Senator Colbeck, whom I also thank for his service as a minister. If he is, when the count is finalised, returned, there would be no barrier, of course, to his returning to the ministry in due course. All Cabinet ministers I appointed last term will be reappointed. There are some changes of role and title. Senator Fiona Nash will add local government and territories to her regional development and regional communications roles. Christopher Pyne will be appointed to the new role of Minister for Defence Industry within the Defence portfolio. Mr Pyne will be responsible for overseeing our new Defence Industry Plan that came out of the Defence White Paper. This includes the most significant naval shipbuilding program since the Second World War. This is a key national economic development role. This program is vitally important for the future of Australian industry and especially advanced manufacturing. The Minister for Defence Industry will oversee the Naval Shipbuilding Plan, which will itself create 3,600 new direct jobs and thousands more across the supply chain across Australia. Beyond shipbuilding, there is a massive defence industry investment and acquisition program on land, in the air and in cyberspace. This is a massive step change set out in the Defence White Paper. This investment in defence industry, as you know, is a key part of our economic plan. It will drive the jobs and the growth in advanced manufacturing, in technology right across the country. And I'm appointing Christopher to be the Minister to oversee that and ensure that those projects are delivered. As I said at the outset, this is a term of government for delivery. We will be judged in 2019 by the Australian people as to whether we have delivered on the plans and the programs and the investments that we have promised and set out and described in the lead up to the election. Greg Hunt will move from Environment to become the Minister for Industry, Innovation and Science, where he will drive the National Innovation and Science Agenda. Can I say that Mr Hunt has been an outstanding Environment Minister, and he served in that portfolio in government and indeed in opposition. He has a keen understanding of innovation, he has a keen understanding of science and technology, and he will give new leadership to that important portfolio and those important agendas so central to our economic plan. Josh Frydenberg will move to the expanded environment and energy portfolio, combining all the key energy policy areas. These include energy security and domestic energy markets, for which he has been previously responsible in the current portfolio, renewable energy targets, clean energy development and financing, and emission reduction mechanisms, which are part of environment. Senator Matt Canavan will be promoted to Cabinet as the Minister for Resources and Northern Australia, and I welcome Senator Canavan to the Cabinet in this key economic development role. Kelly O'Dwyer, currently the Assistant Treasurer, will hold the title for Revenue and Financial Services, which better describes her full role and responsibilities than does the title, albeit a very ancient and honoured title, of Assistant Treasurer. So this is her role is better described by that more accurate and, I think, contemporary ministerial title. Turning to the Outer Ministry, Paul Fletcher will become the Minister for Urban Infrastructure. Again, this is clarifying his current role. One of his key priorities is the Western Sydney Airport. Again, Paul will be focusing on delivery of these big projects, ensuring that they are delivered, that by 2019, Australians see we are making real progress on delivering those important projects we've described. Senator Scott Ryan will become the Special Minister of State, which is part of the finance portfolio, as you know, and also the Minister assisting the Cabinet Secretary. Dan Tehan will become the Minister for Defence Personnel and continue, of course, as the Minister for Veterans Affairs. Dan will take on the new role of Minister assisting the Prime Minister for Cyber Security, which of course is one of the recommendations of the Cyber Security Review released before the election. Michael McCormack will become the Minister for Small Business in the Treasury portfolio. Turning now to the Parliamentary Secretaries, who will continue to be known as Assistant Ministers. Karen Andrews will become the Assistant Minister for Vocational Education and Skills. Alex Hawke will become the Assistant Minister for Immigration and Border Protection. Keith Pitt will become the Assistant Minister for Trade, Investment and Tourism. And Craig Laundy will become the Assistant Minister for Industry, Innovation and Science. There are 3 new appointments as Assistant Ministers. Luke Hartsuker will be appointed Assistant Minister to the Deputy Prime Minister. Senator Zed Seselja will be appointed Assistant Minister for Social Services and Multicultural Affairs, and Dr David Gillespie will be appointed Assistant Minister for Rural Health, a responsibility previously held directly, as you know, by Senator Nash. I welcome Luke's return to the Executive and the new appointments for Zed and David. Other than these changes, all other Cabinet Ministers, Ministers and Assistant Ministers will continue in their current roles. This provides stability and continuity at a time when there are great opportunities ahead for Australia, but also, as we know, significant economic and fiscal challenges. My team will now get on with the job of governing, constructively working and engaging with the other parties in the Parliament to deliver the strong and secure future, the strong economic leadership that Australians expect and will get from my government. Thank you.